Hello guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm Reality Pearl and this is the African Housewives Failure Show. Today I'm recapping the Real Housewives of Durban season 3 episode 11. So yeah, I'm going to go into it, but first let me just say, if you have not subscribed yet, if you just stumbled upon this channel for the first time or you're a returning viewer, I do appreciate you. On this channel I do reviews of my favorite Real Housewives shows, especially those set in Africa, with a lot of loud laughter, shade and also positivity too. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that, and also don't forget to turn on the notification to get notified each time I post a new video. Thank you. Right, about this trip, this anonymously planned trip, this ghost trip that Slee planned, okay? I feel like she should have just told them that she was the one planning the trip or she was the one hosting them. Immediately they boarded, or maybe she would have waited for the plane to take off before telling them. While they were on their way to the resort, the ladies were all talking about what happened at Sorisha's event. Anyway, let's talk about this trip real quick. The trip started really very slowly. Some people felt that it was not well planned. It definitely looked like it was a financially stretched vacation. If you get what I mean, okay? I think it was Jojo that said that they've not had anything to eat since. Even the goodies that they usually, prepare for the ladies when they go for vacation. Jojo was like, wow, this trip is not given. Just generally from everything that, happened during this trip, it kind of looked like it wasn't well planned, okay? Even the Monkey Land adventure that they went on, the ladies were not particularly thrilled. Anyway, let's go straight to the meat and the potatoes, okay? Let me first say that it looks like Rue is going to be collateral damage in all this. The poor guy... Literally, the poor guy is being pulled in many directions. Like, he must just divide himself into two, right? So he can satisfy the two women that he loves to death. Even though he's just known them for like 4 years put together. Maria pulled Rue aside to basically tell him to pick a side. But she also said, you're a grown man. You know right from wrong. You know your left from your right. So I'm just going to leave it to you to pick a side. And then at the Monkey Land, Nonku pulled him aside too, to tell him to prove his loyalty to Jojo by being more vocally supportive of her. She basically said that he's a softie. I don't understand, like... This scene really offed me. It sounded like she was recruiting Rue officially, okay? Because they've been doing it unofficially. But right now, she's like recruiting him into their small army. Nonku is trying so hard to get the league that she so desperately wants, okay? She failed at recruiting Slee and Mbali. So she's really working hard at Rue. I'm speaking of Mbali. She came up with this bizarre story of 15 baboons. She said she was having her bath. She mistakenly left her door open. And before she knew it, she was in the company of 15 baboons. I was like, how? I was not questioning myself, like, do I really know what baboons are? Or is she the one that doesn't know what baboons are? She said they were even more than 15. The story was not even adding up. It must have been a dream. After this Mbali's crazy story, Slee was like, Mbali came into the group as an engaged woman. Now she's no longer seeing her wearing her ring. She said, what happened to the ring? What's happening, Mbali? What's going on in your life? Mbali was like, you need to see Mbali trying to explain. She was trying so hard. It was so funny. She said, because she's an actress, she might be required to remove her ring for certain roles. Like, okay, are you still acting? Are you still on set? What's going on? That can be the reason why she's not wearing her ring. But, let's just leave it at that. When she's ready to tell the truth, we will know. While reading the subtitles, I noticed that Mbali was actually using the word married and engaged like interchangeably. Like, I would like to know, someone please just explain to me in the comment section. She referred to herself as a married woman at some point. Am I the one that's confused? Is the problem from the editors or is it actually from Mbali herself? Like, which of us is confused right now? Right? I would like to know, so please let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Guys, I almost forgot. A monkey pulled on Nonku's head. Like, it wasn't just once or twice. It happened more than 2 times. How did that animal manage to aim that well? Like, multiple times? How? Well, she said she would take it as a blessing. I hope that for her. Yeah, moving forward, finally, okay? Finally, they had a dinner at this vacation. Because I was beginning to wonder, apparently in the Real Housewives universe, menu is important. We want to know what they're eating. We want to know what they're drinking. At this vacation so far, they have not shown us any of that, okay? They've not shown us any food. Are they not eating? They finally had a dinner at this vacation. Simple but, elegant setup. Slee was already seated when Nonku arrived. They barely exchanged greetings. I guess Slee was just like, hi. Nonku said, yeah, or yes, or what. I don't know. It was so awkward. After a while, Slee was like, you know what, let me ask you something, Nonku. Slee went on to ask her why she told Mbali that she was broke and that she was borrowing things from her. She said, why would you even tell her that? Like, why would that even come up? Have I ever told you that I'm rich in the first place? Nonku was like, maybe she should ask Sunny that brought the gist to her, that she's not even going to talk about that. She should believe what she wants to believe. She does not care. She's not going to be talking about this. I'm like, you've not even said anything. What are you done talking about? Slee said she was just giving her the courtesy of defending herself. If she says she didn't do it, then it's fine. She didn't do it. Nonku said, do you really believe that I said it? Slee said, but I don't even know. I don't know anything anymore. She said, you've said a few things about me that were untrue, okay? Actually, Nonku didn't deny this. It's really making it hard to believe her. And Jojo and Ru came in, sat down after greeting them. And Nonku brought it up again and she was like, imagine Sunny said that I said this. And she was like, Slee, tell them what Sunny said. I'm like, Nonku, I thought you said you were done talking. Like, okay, now there's backup and you're ready to talk. When it was just you and Slee, you were not ready to talk. You said you were not going to talk about it. I see you, Nonku. Yes, there's no footage of Nonku saying these things because what we saw was Mbali telling Sunny what Nonku said. And she said Nonku said that Slee is broke. Slee borrows money from people. She borrows clothes from people. She's trying so hard to outshine her. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I think the difference between what Sunny said, Mbali said, and what Mbali said was that Slee was borrowing from people and not from Nonku. That's just the only difference. If Nonku is going to be denying this based on these technical terms, then Slee was calm though. And I respect this about Slee. She's always calm. She repeated the questions she asked Nonku earlier. Jojo said, but she has never heard Nonku say anything like that before. And that Nonku has never said anything like that before. And Nonku was like, she's actually tired of defending herself because the lies are just too much. Hopefully, we'll soon get to know who the liar is. Other ladies are right and, just trying to be fake and greet each other. Slee was like, guys, you're welcome to my event. I'm the host of this vacation. I was like, Slee, don't you think it's a little bit too late to announce this? At this point, I think the ladies would have just gone on with the vacation better without even knowing that you were the host. Don't you think so? It was even more awkward after that because everybody was just like on their phones and not really talking. So Slee was like, guys, let's talk. The tension is too much. Let's just... Nonku said, talk about what? Like, why not you try to be real? We don't even talk in real. Like we are not even in talking terms. Why? How do you expect us to just start talking all of a sudden just because we are sitting at the dinner table? Yeah, so but Mbali was like, okay, guys, if you're not ready to talk, let me just say something real quick. I want to address something. She said, Nonku, about this Mabusi vibes thing. What is Mabusi vibes? Nonku was really beating about the bush at this point. She said, but she already explained it to her face. She said she told Mbali face to face that she gave her Mabusi vibes and that when she told her, she also explained it to her. Mbali said no, that she never did. It's funny because it's more like adding salt to injury. Apart from Nonku calling her Mabusi vibes, she's also now insinuating that Mbali has some form of amnesia. If she told her, of course she will remember that kind of thing. Okay, assuming you've told her before, how about you tell her again? It was really getting Mbali more angry. She was getting more infuriated. Nonku was not being fast with the answer. Mbali started going off. Mbali was like, of course, her voice at this point had already gone up. Of course, started telling Nonku all the things that she wanted to tell her all along. She was like, don't get drunk and take your alcohol out on me. Like, I've been defending you. I've been defending and you've been going about gossiping about everybody, talking about Slee and how she's borrowing, how she's broke. Before we knew it, it went to, I will beat you up. Like, I will beat you right now. What? Nonku said, that is the Mbali vibes I'm talking about. Nonku, don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. That was not the Mabusi vibes we were talking about. No. Don't do that. Okay? We already know. And that's why you weren't able to say it at the table. So, yeah. Why doesn't Mbali think that she will beat Nonku? Why? Of course, this page doesn't support violence, but this one has not even died down. So Risha asked Jojo if she was in contact with Sunny during the period that they didn't like her. Jojo said no, that she had just gotten Sunny's contact. She didn't have it all this while. So Risha was like, so you people were not exchanging messages? She said no. At this point, okay, the three musketeers, stood up and they were leaving. And I think, that was the best decision because push came to shore. I doubt if Nonku and her crew would have stood up to it because... Oh my God, they were outnumbered at this point. As they were leaving, Nonku was like, bye fakers. So Risha said, at least we can have our dinner now. Like, they were just throwing shades at each other. Okay, shady bunch. Yeah, so they walked out and, of course, in the usual Jojo fashion, she was watering the garden with her tears. This time, but thank God she had Nonku and Ru though, because they were there for her, hyping her up, telling her, we love you, we are here, we are the real deal, we are this. Meanwhile, at the table, Sunny was pulling some receipts for the ladies to read, okay? She pulled up the text messages that she had with Jojo, allegedly, okay? Because at this point, Jojo hasn't accepted it yet. I don't trust Sunny, and I will not believe her. Moving forward, Annie went to meet Jojo to sort some things out. Listen, I'm not even going to go through their conversations because it was actually triggering for me. It was. So I'm just going to summarize what happened, okay? Now, you remember when Jojo hosted the ladies? Yeah. Annie went to Jojo's room and she was like, oh, this room smells or stinks of alcohol. Have you been drinking? Whatever she said, whether stinks or smells, no big deal, right? Jojo explained to her that no, she has not been drinking. It was actually Rude that was drinking. Whatever. Fast forward to the dinner, Jojo said she was actually a bit hurt that some of the ladies have been talking about her and the fact that she now drinks alcohol, and also the fact that Annie came into her room and said her room smells like alcohol. Right. Now I'm just giving this so that you would understand for anybody that hasn't been watching, okay? At that table when she brought that up, I remember Annie telling Jojo, okay, I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. Even though Annie was not happy, Annie was pissed that she was saying so many other things that she didn't say. And obviously when Jojo threw her tantrum and stormed out of the dinner, Annie was even more pissed. And she actually felt like she needed an apology from Jojo. Annie was trying to have this conversation with her. And of course, it was not going to go anywhere because they were both not listening to themselves. But one thing that Jojo said that stuck was her telling Annie that she outcasted her and Nonku from the group. Annie said, what? Do you think I have the power to do that? How could Jojo even say that Annie outcasted her? No, Jojo, you did that. You didn't need help from anybody to do that. You and Nonku did that all by yourselves, okay? Annie was like, you disrespected me. Jojo said, you too, you disrespected me. You hurt me. Jojo said, you hurt me too. You are a manipulator. Jojo said, you are a manipulative liar too. This was the trend in this conversation. Annie will say something, then Jojo will give a rebuttal. Like, they were beginning to sound like a very toxic couple. Like I said, triggering. Jojo called Annie ugly. She said, you're mean, you're ugly. She said she felt sorry for her. I would have wanted to hear the things that Jojo repeated from Twitter, because Annie said that she was just being a troll and regurgitating everything that she heard from Twitter. What was she repeating from Twitter? Because you all know that that's where the drama is at, right? That conversation didn't end well. They were going at each other and Jojo was like, you're not my friend. I don't want to be your friend anymore. Done. Actually, it was really very emotional watching them. I think that they used to be friends, but I didn't expect Annie to be so emotional. After that face-off, Annie called Sorisha to rant and she was quite pissed. You know how you'll be like so pissed to the point of like crying? That's how pissed she was. I get it, okay? I get it. She told Sorisha everything that happened. She was like, can you imagine this horn? This horn said I outcasted her. Sorisha tried to calm her down. This episode ended right here, okay? Of course, I enjoyed it per usual. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and also like this video and comment. Let me know what you think, okay? Thanks for watching. See you soon.